And so, ladies and gentlemen, with a great deal of pride and pleasure, I present to you Elektro, the Westinghouse Moto-Man. Elektro, come here. And here he comes.
Meet Kitty the Techno Kitten. She thinks and learns just like a real kitten.
She's hungry.
And we're here with the launch of iRobot's new Roomba 980 robot vacuum. This one's
San Diego Padres got a surprise during batting practice today. These guys, robots, quote unquote, dressed up in Padres jerseys.
This is really cool. It's a feature all about our voice. Because for decades, technologists have teased us with this dream that you're going to be able to talk to technology and it'll do things for us. Haven't we seen this before over and over? But it never comes true.
Engineering role, but I just need to know, do I look presentable, professional?
Well, Rocky, you definitely have the I've been coding all night look down, which could actually work in your favor.
I assure you that the self-aware machine theory has a positive net value. Self-aware machines could do things that no human could do, and they're more efficient at all of them.
I see a red apple on a plate in the center of the table, a drying rack with cups and a plate, and you standing nearby with your hand on the table.
Great, can I have something to eat?
Sure thing.
Can you explain why you did what you just did while you pick up this trash?
On it. So I gave you the apple because it's the only edible item I could provide you with from the table.
The most nightmare scenario I can imagine with AI and robotics is a world where robots have become so powerful that they are able to control or manipulate humans without their knowledge.
Throughout history, the nature of thought, the ability to reason, and the possibility of intelligent artificial beings have captivated human curiosity. From scientists to philosophers, the concept of automata, machines that can mimic or replicate the human mind, has been a great source of fascination and speculation. Unless you've been living under a rock, you're probably familiar with the idea of artificial intelligence. Over the recent years, it is something that has been aggressively shoved in our faces, whether that be through advertisements, entertainment, at school or at work, or even in the ways that you don't immediately recognize, like through your interactions with your phone, search engines, or other gadgets and appliances, all of which use some level of machine learning and artificial intelligence. It appears as though there's no escape from it. It's pretty much near impossible to go a day without interacting with some form of AI. And as we progress further into the future, our reliance on it will only increase. But this idea seems to stir up conflicting feelings of excitement and concern. Some are even calling it humanity's last invention. But in this video, we won't focus so much on the future of AI, but rather the history. The journey towards what we now call artificial intelligence is not just a story of technological innovation, but one deeply rooted in the evolution of thinking itself. Although the term artificial intelligence has only been around since the late 1950s, the idea of artificial beings actually spans centuries, beginning with ancient myths and early philosophical musings, and extending through the mechanical inventions of the Enlightenment, all the way to the digital revolutions of the 20th and 21st centuries. So join me as we explore the history of AI, ranging from the clockwork automatons of the Renaissance to the algorithmic intelligence driving today's cutting-edge technology. As we trace this genealogy, we uncover the shifting perspectives on what it means to think, to be intelligent, and sentience itself.
You are now watching Mythology.
Part 1. Metal Mythology and Ancient Apparatuses. You might be surprised to see that our journey through the genealogy of AI begins all the way back here in 400 BCE. This is because the idea of artificial intelligence hasn't always meant what we all know it to mean now, which involves complex algorithms, machine learning, and neural networks. Rather, in this genealogy, I want to broaden our understanding of AI to capture the essence of what it really is: a replica of intelligence. A replica of who we are as humans. As you will find out, the concept of artificial life is something that began in ancient times and has evolved throughout history. Artificial intelligence began with the ancient wish to forge the gods. Pamela McCorduck on Machines Who Think. Talos, circa 400 BCE. According to Greek mythology, Talos was a giant bronze automaton whose job was to protect Europa, the mother of King Minos of Crete. Talos is often believed to be made by Hephaestus, the Greek god of metallurgy and blacksmithing, at the request of Zeus. Talos was programmed to patrol the island's shore by circling the entirety of Crete 3 times each day. Talos was said to have human form, but because he was an automaton, his internal structure was far less complex than a human's. Talos had just one vein that ran from his neck to his ankle, which was sealed and protected from leaking by a bronze nail. The myth of Talos offers a fascinating glimpse into the ancient Greek imagination, serving as an early example of fantasies about artificial life. Some interpret Talos as the first robot, reflecting humanity's long-standing obsession with creating lifelike machines. Others see Talos as foreshadowing of the black box dilemma in AI and machine learning, where the decision-making processes of artificial entities remain obscure and difficult to decipher, hence the abstraction with the singular vein in Talos. But Talos is just one example of how the ancient minds grappled with the concept of automata. Aristotle's Argonon, circa 350 BCE. Moving ahead only 50 years or so, we get to the Greek philosopher Aristotle, who touched upon several influential topics during his life that are still of interest to AI researchers today. Aristotle's speculations on automaton in his book, Politics, offers a rich historical and philosophical perspective on the evolution of the concept of artificial life. In Book 1, Chapter 4, Aristotle briefly speculates about the possibility of technological advancements that could eliminate the need for human slaves. He imagines a scenario where tools could be automated or self-operating, much like the legendary automaton Talos, suggesting that if looms could weave by themselves or if harps could pluck their own strings, masters would have no need for slaves. This idea is remarkably forward-thinking, as it prefigures a world where machines might take over the tasks traditionally performed by humans. Aristotle's speculation connects to broader philosophical questions about the relationship between humans and machines, the ethics of automation, and the implications for society if human labor could be entirely replaced by machines. I don't know about you all watching, but when I first found this out, it absolutely blew my mind. That since ancient times, people were already envisioning a world of automation. Nowadays, it seems like such a new concept, but in reality, this idea has been in development for over 2,000 years. While Talos reflects the mythical fears of creating lifelike machines, Aristotle's reflections in Politics mark a shift from myth to rational speculation, as he envisions a world where technology might one day evolve to replace human labor entirely. This early philosophical anticipation of automation sets the stage for modern debates on AI, where the replacement of human roles by machines has become tangible reality, but we will get to that later. Ctesibio's water clock, circa 250 BCE. Aristotle's vision of automatons that could replace human labor was a significant step in the philosophical exploration of technology. However, it wasn't until the invention of Ctesibio's water clock in the 3rd century BCE that such ideas began to take physical form. Ctesibio's water clock, or clepsydra, was more than just a timekeeping device. It was a revolutionary advancement that introduced the concept of self-regulation into the realm of man-made objects. Before this invention, only living things were believed to possess the ability to adapt their behavior in response to changes in their environment. Ctesibio's water clock, with its feedback control system, fundamentally altered this understanding, marking the beginning of a new era in technology where machines could, in a sense, think and respond to their surroundings. Now, obviously, a mechanism as simple as this wouldn't constitute a thinking machine by our modern standards, but considering the time it was introduced, this was very advanced technology. Antikythera mechanism, unknown origin, circa 125 BCE. Building on the foundation of Ctesibio's water clock, ancient engineers continued to push the boundaries of what machines could do, leading to the creation of Antikythera's mechanism discovered by sponge divers in a shipwreck off the coast of Greek island of Antikythera around 1900. This ancient geared computing device is thought to have been built between 150 and 100 BCE. The Antikythera mechanism is a sophisticated piece of machinery described by journalist Joe Marchant as consisting of precisely cut dials, pointers, and at least 30 interlocking gear wheels, a level of complexity unparalleled for over 1,000 years until the advent of astronomical clocks in medieval Europe. Historians believe that this remarkable device, often regarded as the world's first analog computer, was used to calculate astronomical positions, predict solar eclipses, track dates of ancient Olympic Games, and indicate other planetary motions. The Antikythera mechanism not only demonstrates the advanced technological and mathematical understanding of its time, but also reflects the ancient world's ambition to create machines that could simulate and predict the complex workings of the natural world, a precursor to the predictive capabilities we now associate with modern AI. Part 2. Medieval Machines. Following the incredible sophistication of the Antikythera mechanism, the historical record shows a significant period of stagnation regarding technological advancements for over 1,000 years. This gap can be attributed to several factors. The decline of the Roman Empire led to population decreases, with societies focusing more on survival than innovation. The availability of slave labor also diminished the demand for labor-saving technologies. And perhaps most significantly, the dominant religious authorities in Europe often viewed scientific inquiry with suspicion, fearing that it might challenge their doctrine and authority and threaten their control over societal beliefs. This cultural climate stifled the spirit of curiosity that had once driven advancements in areas like engineering and astronomy. Al-Jazari's automata, circa 1206 AD. However, technological innovation did not vanish entirely. In the Islamic Golden Age, spanning roughly from the 8th to the 14th century, there was a flourishing of science, mathematics, and engineering. A key figure from this period is Al-Jazari, a brilliant engineer who lived in the 12th and early 13th centuries. Around 1206, Al-Jazari wrote the Book of Knowledge of Ingenious Mechanical Devices, in which he described a variety of automata, mechanical devices designed to perform specific tasks. Al-Jazari's automata, including intricate water clocks and mechanical animals, showcase not only the engineering prowess of his time, but also a continued fascination with the creating machines that could mimic life and perform complex tasks autonomously. His work represents a remarkable continuity of the ancient tradition of automaton making. According to English engineer and historian Donald R. Hill, who is famous for the English translation of Al-Jazari's work, it is impossible to overemphasize the importance of Al-Jazari's work in the history of engineering. Until modern times, there is no other document from any cultural area that provides comparable wealth of instruction for the design, manufacture, and assembly of machines. Lancelot's Copper Knights, circa 1220 AD. As we move forward in time, we encounter not only actual automata, but also the rich fictional traditions that captured the medieval imagination. Historian Ellie Truitt aptly notes that automata stood at the intersection of natural knowledge and technology, and were troubling links between art and nature. These devices, whether real or imagined, offer a fascinating glimpse into the independence of science, technology, and the imagination. One famous example of fictional medieval robots can be found in Lancelot du Lac, an old French tale recounting the adventures of King Arthur and his Knights of the Round Table. In this story, Lancelot encounters a castle guarded by copper knights, mechanical warriors designed to protect their domain. While these knights are products of medieval fantasy, they reflect the era's deepening engagement with the idea of artificial beings, blending technological concepts with legendary narratives. These stories illustrate how the boundaries between science, technology, and imagination were fluid, allowing medieval thinkers to explore the possibilities of what machines could achieve, both in reality and in fiction. Hesdin Mechanical Park, circa 1300. While the Copper Knights in Lancelot du Lac represent the fantastical side of medieval imagination, this period of time also saw the creation of real-life marvels that brought similar ideas to life. One such example is the Mechanical Park at Hesdin, located in northeastern France. Starting around 1300, this park became famous for its lifelike simulations of humans and animals, offering visitors a tangible glimpse of the far future. The Hesdin automata included a variety of fascinating creations: androids, monkeys, birds, and even a timekeeping device. The park's concept may have been inspired by Islamic culture and engineering, reflecting a cross-cultural exchange of ideas. Over the years, the park continued to evolve, with various upgrades to its mechanical marvels, including a wooden hermit who could speak to onlookers, a talking owl, and fountains with mechanical birds. The waving monkeys and other automata were most likely operated by weight-driven mechanisms, incorporating clockwork parts and hydraulics. These robotic installations not only entertained, but also demonstrated the potential for more widespread automation, bridging the gap between imaginative possibilities depicted in medieval stories and the tangible advancements in technology that were beginning to reshape the world. Religious automata, circa 1352. The interest in automata also found its way into religious settings, where complex mechanical devices were used to inspire awe and convey spiritual messages. A notable example of this is the Strasbourg astronomical clock located in the Cathédrale Notre-Dame in France. The Strasbourg clock, whose construction is said to have begun in 1352, is renowned for its intricate religious automata. These include a procession of figures representing the apostles, which move in sequence as part of the clock's hourly chimes, accompanied by the figure of Christ blessing the apostles. The clock also features other mechanical marvels, such as a crowing rooster and an angel turning an hourglass. These religious automata serve not only as a testament to the ingenuity of the creators, but also as a means to integrate complex mechanical technology into the spiritual and communal life of the period. Part 3. Renaissance Replicas and the Age of Enlightenment Engines. Technological advancements and the idea of artificial beings are beginning to gain momentum as we enter the Renaissance, beginning with Da Vinci's Robot Knight, 1495. As the Renaissance dawned in the 15th century, Europe experienced a resurgence of creativity and intellectual exploration, leading to significant advancements in science, art, and technology. This period was marked by a renewed fascination with the potential of machines and the possibilities of human ingenuity. One of the most remarkable figures of this era was Leonardo da Vinci, an Italian polymath whose contributions to art and science have become legendary.
Who painted the Mona Lisa? Mona Lisa. Yeah. Da Vinci?
Among his many achievements, Leonardo's design for a mechanical knight, sketched around 1495 in his Codex Atlanticus, stand out as a testament to the innovative spirit of the time. Leonardo's robot knight was an extraordinary concept for its time. The armored figure could sit up, open and close its arms, move its head via a flexible neck, and even open its visor. The design featured articulated joints, movable arms, jaw, and head, all operated by a sophisticated pulley system that controlled the robot's various parts. Suited in German-Italian medieval armor, this early android, if we may call it that, showcased Leonardo's deep understanding of mechanics and his ability to blend art with engineering. Though we cannot be certain if this mechanical knight was ever constructed, its detailed design suggests that it could have served as an inspiration for later engineers and inventors, marking an early step towards the more complex automata that would emerge in the centuries to come. Golem, Jewish folklore, 1580. Long before Stephen Hawking warned us about the dangers of artificial intelligence, the legend of the golem conveyed to Jews the same subliminal message. As technological innovations continued to evolve, so too did the cultural and ethical reflections on the implications of creating lifelike beings. This concern is vividly captured in the Jewish folklore of the golem, a creature made from clay and brought to life through mystical means. The legend of the golem, particularly the version from the 16th century Prague, where Rabbi Judah Loew is said to have created a golem to protect the Jewish community, explores themes that resonate with modern discussions about artificial intelligence. Just as today's AI warnings caution against the unintended consequences of creating machines with human-like capabilities, the golem story serves as an early allegory about the dangers of wielding such power. The golem, though created to serve and protect, eventually becomes a source of fear and potential destruction, symbolizing the precarious balance between human creativity and the ethical responsibility it entails. Hobbes' Leviathan, 1651. The golem legend highlights the deep-seated anxieties that arise when humans attempt to create beings that mirror themselves. The concerns about creation, control, and the nature of artificial beings were also central to the philosophical explorations of the 17th century. One of the most influential thinkers of this period who discussed some of these ideas was Thomas Hobbes. In his book, Leviathan, he makes several statements that raise thought-provoking questions surrounding artificial life. For example, in his introduction, Hobbes compares the body to a mechanical engine. Nature, the art whereby God hath made and governs the world, is by the art of man. Imitated, that man can make an artificial animal. For seeing life is but a motion of limbs, the beginning whereof is in some principal part within. Why may we not say that all automata, engines that move themselves by springs and wheels, as doth a watch, have an artificial life. For what is the heart but a spring, the nerves but so many strings, and the joints but so many wheels, giving motion to the whole body? When a human reasons, according to Hobbes, the person performs symbolic calculations and manipulations, something not too dissimilar to addition and subtraction. By ratiocination, I mean computation. Now, to compute is either to collect the sum of many that are added together, or to know what remains when one thing is taken out of another. Hobbes can be considered one of the first philosophers to raise the question, are machines capable of reasoning and thinking? The Consciousness Mill, 1714. While Thomas Hobbes applied a mechanical view to understand human society and governance, another thinker of the 17th century, Gottfried Leibniz. Another thinker of the 17th century, Gottfried Leibniz, took these ideas further into the realm of metaphysics and imagination. Leibniz, a German philosopher and mathematician, wrote the Monadology around 1714, where he touches on concepts that eerily prefigure modern ideas about artificial intelligence. In the Monadology, Leibniz speculated about the possibility of a machine as large as a mill capable of thinking and feeling, much like an AI-infused entity. This machine, though physical in structure, would possess a kind of consciousness, challenging the boundaries between mind and matter. Leibniz's idea invites us to consider not just the mechanics of artificial systems, as Hobbes did, but also the deeper implications of creating machines that might one day replicate or even surpass human thought and sensation. Leibniz also realized that if we could explore inside this hypothetical mill, we would find nothing but pieces that push one against another and never anything to account for a perception. Legato Book Writing Engine, 1726. As ideas of fabricated intelligence percolated through the intellectual space of the time, they also began to influence the literary world, where authors used fiction to both imagine and critique the future of technology. One of the earliest and most notable examples of this is found in Jonathan Swift's Gulliver's Travels, published in 1726. In the novel, Swift introduces the Legato book writing engine, an extraordinary contraption housed in the Academy of Projectors in the fictional city of Legato. This device is a mechanical system designed to generate books by randomly assembling words and phrases, effectively automating the process of writing. Sound familiar? While the book writing engine is presented as satire, poking fun at the scientific ambitions of his time, it also stands as one of the first AI-like devices extensively discussed in literature. This fictional machine prefigures modern discussions about AI's potential role in creative processes, highlighting both the possibilities and absurdities that arise when human creativity is automated. In the novel, the character Gulliver explains how, by his contrivance, the most ignorant person, at a reasonable charge, and with little bodily labor, might write books in philosophy, poetry, politics, laws, mathematics, and theology, without the least assistance from a genius or study. Mechanical Turk, 1770. But the fascination with AI-like devices did not just exist in writing and fiction, as it soon found itself in the real world through remarkable technologies and feats. One of the most famous examples of this is the Mechanical Turk, an 18th century automaton that brought the idea of machines mastering human activities, such as playing games, into the public spotlight. The Mechanical Turk, created in 1770 by Wolfgang von Kempelen, was a chess-playing machine that appeared to be capable of competing against human opponents. The Turk, dressed in Ottoman-style robes, sat behind a chessboard that could move pieces autonomously, leading to widespread amazement and speculation about the possibility of machines possessing human-like intelligence. Although the Turk was later revealed to be a cleverly disguised illusion operated by a hidden human chess master, its impact was profound. It raised questions about the potential for machines to master complex tasks, such as playing chess and checkers, which are often associated with human intelligence. Moreover, the Mechanical Turk inspired further developments in automata, as inventors and engineers sought to create machines that could replicate human actions and thought processes more authentically. This fascination with creating human-like automata would continue to evolve, ultimately influencing the development of modern AI and robotics. Jacques Droz's Automata, 1774. While the Mechanical Turk captured the public's imagination with its ability to play chess and raise important questions about machine intelligence, the late 18th century also witnessed the creation of even more intricate and sophisticated automata. Among the most remarkable examples are the Jacques-Droz automata, designed by Swiss watchmaker Pierre Jacques-Droz and his son Henry Louis in 1774. The Jacques-Droz automata, which include the writer, the draughtsman, and the musician, are astonishing in their complexity and realism. These machines could perform elaborate tasks. The writer could actually write sentences with a quill. The draughtsman could draw intricate pictures, and the musician could play a small organ. Unlike the Mechanical Turk, which relied on hidden human intervention, these automata operated through meticulously crafted mechanical systems, making them autonomous in their actions. The Jacques-Droz automata were not just marvels of engineering, but also works of art, embodying the peak of what was possible with 18th century technology. These creations further fueled the fascination with human-like machines and laid the groundwork for continued development of robotics and artificial intelligence. Part 4. Industrial Revolution Robots. Having explored the past relationships between ancient myths and early technological innovations, as well as the medieval obsession with mechanical automata, we now turn to a new era in human history. It is around this time that technological innovation really begins to pick up speed, as innovations become more frequent, interconnected, and impactful for the general public. Also starting in this period, people began to really flesh out more complex ideas about artificial life and the consequences of creating beings in our image. Frankenstein, 1818. Written by Mary Shelley, Frankenstein tells the story of Victor Frankenstein, a scientist who creates a living creature from various inanimate parts, only to be horrified by the result of his own experiment. The novel has become a symbol of the dangers in unchecked technological ambition, reflecting deep-seated fears about the power of human creativity and the unforeseen consequences that may follow. Shelley's work explores the relationship between creator and creation, raising questions about responsibility, ethics, and the limits of scientific experimentation. As much as Frankenstein is a tale of gothic horror, it's also a cautionary tale about the potential dangers of pushing the boundaries of science and technology. The novel serves as a reminder that the same ingenuity that allows us to build machines and medicine that improve the lives of so many is the same human ingenuity that can lead to the death and destruction, if allowed to. Babbage's computing engine, 1822. The early 19th century witnessed great technological advancements driven by pioneers who laid the groundwork for the digital age. Among these innovators is Charles Babbage. Babbage is known for his design of the difference engine and the analytical engine, mechanical computers that were far ahead of their time. The difference engine, conceived in the 1820s, was designed to automate the process of calculating polynomial functions, reducing the human error in mathematical computations. However, it was his later, more general-purpose design, the analytical engine, that truly foreshadowed modern computing. This machine was designed to be programmable, capable of performing any calculation given the appropriate instructions through punch cards. Babbage's work laid the theoretical and mechanical foundations for the computers we use today, earning him recognition as one of the most important figures in the prehistory of modern computing. His visionary design demonstrates a leap in technology from mechanical automata to computational machines, marking a fundamental shift in how humans interacted with machines. Darwin Among the Machines, 1863. As people like Babbage began to reshape the technological landscape, there were others who've had profound philosophical reflections on the future of machines and their place in society. One of the most remarkable contributions to this discourse of machines came from Samuel Butler, an English author and polymath who in 1863 wrote an essay titled Darwin Among the Machines. In this essay, Butler takes the ideas of evolution as proposed by Charles Darwin and applies them to the realm of technology. He speculates that machines, much like living organisms, might evolve through natural selection, becoming more complex and capable over time. Butler's essay was astoundingly ahead of its time, predicting modern discussions about artificial intelligence, machine learning, and the potential for machines to surpass human intelligence. Darwin Among the Machines challenges readers to consider the possibility that machines could one day possess autonomy, driven by their own survival needs. Butler's provocative ideas force us to re-examine our relationships with technology, questioning whether we are the creators in control, or if we might one day become subservient to the very machines that we build. Tesla's Borrowed Mind, 1898. Samuel Butler's essay, Darwin Among the Machines, raised provocative questions about the potential evolution of technology and its impact on society. As these ideas began to take root, the early 19th and 20th centuries witnessed a surge of innovation that would lay the foundation for our modern world. At the forefront of this technological revolution was Nikola Tesla, an inventor and visionary whose work continues to influence our technological progress today. One of Tesla's most fascinating contributions was his concept of borrowed minds, an idea that foreshadowed the interconnected, automated systems we see in modern artificial intelligence. Tesla envisioned a future where machines could be guided by human thought, borrowing the minds of their creators to perform complex tasks. He offered people of his time a glimpse of the future with his invention of the world's first radio-controlled boat, which he demonstrated in 1898. This invention laid the groundwork for the development of remote-controlled and autonomous vehicles, marking a significant leap in the potential of machines to act independently of direct human control. Despite the groundbreaking nature of his inventions, many of Tesla's peers saw only the potential for weaponization. However, Tesla strongly urged society to look beyond violence and destruction. He believed in the limitless potential of technological progress to uplift humanity and solve many of its most pressing problems. Tesla's legacy is not just in the devices he created, but in his belief that technology, when guided by the right principles, could lead to a better future for all of mankind. Rossum's Universal Robots, 1920. The term robot was first popularized by Czech playwright Karel Čapek in his 1920 play, R.U.R., Rossum's Universal Robots. Set in a future where robots are mass-produced to serve humans, the play explores the consequences of artificial beings becoming fully integrated into society. RUR raises profound questions about the ethics of creating lifelike machines and the potential risks associated with technological progress. In the play, the robots are initially designed to work tirelessly for humans, performing tasks that are menial, dangerous, or otherwise undesirable. However, as the robots become more advanced, they begin to develop their own consciousness and ultimately rebel against their human creators, leading to the extinction of the human race. The play had an immediate and far-reaching impact on society. It introduced the concept of robots, not just as mechanical servants, but as beings with the potential to challenge the social order. RUR forced audiences to confront the implications of creating autonomous machines, questioning how society should integrate these artificial beings and whether they could ever truly be controlled. This narrative has since influenced countless works of science fiction, as well as ongoing debates about the ethical and societal implications of robots and artificial intelligence. In the play, robots originally serve as factory workers, treated by humans as inexpensive appliances, which allow people a tremendous amount of free time for leisure. However, as the robots become more advanced and integrated with society, debates begin to take place about their rights and treatment. Now, this idea is easy to overlook, but it becomes a serious problem in the not-so-distant future. Where do we draw the line between humans and thinking machines? Will machines ever become so advanced that they deserve rights, or worse, become a threat to all of mankind? Metropolis, 1927. The silent film Metropolis was directed by Fritz Lang in the early 20th century. The story takes place in a sprawling futuristic city and presents a bleak vision of a society divided between a privileged leisure class and an oppressed underclass that operates all the complex machinery that runs a city below ground. In this dystopian world, the idea of artificial beings is pushed further with the introduction of a robot designed to be indistinguishable from humans. The robot in Metropolis is capable of performing tirelessly without error, symbolizing the ultimate worker of the future. This robot represents the fear that technology could replace human labor altogether, eliminating the need for the underclass that toils away to keep the city running. The film's depiction of robots, just like the previous story, RUR, raises significant questions about the consequences of creating machines that can perform human tasks perfectly and without fatigue. Metropolis had a profound impact on both cinema and society. It really changed the way people imagined the future. It visualized a possible scenario where artificial intelligence and robotics could be used to completely disrupt life as we know it. The film's portrayal of a society torn apart by technological advancement continues to resonate today, reminding us of the fine line between progress and dehumanization in the age of AI.
The robot in science fiction emerged as a symbolic synthesis of humanity and the machine, equally the human, becoming machine-like, being assimilated by its technological creation, as well as the machine becoming human, embodying our worst qualities and characteristics. It personifies our fear of science and technology, as well as our fear of what we may become. Thomas Lombardo.
Elektro, the Moto-Man, 1939. While the previous two events in this timeline offered a fictional, dystopian vision of a future, the early 20th century also witnessed the emergence of real-life robots that captured the public's imagination in a different way. One of the most famous of these early robots was
Elektro, the Westinghouse Moto-Man.
Often hailed as one of the world's first celebrity robots and America's oldest surviving robot. Built by the Westinghouse Electric Corporation, Elektro was introduced to the world in the 1939 New York World's Fair. Standing 7 feet tall and weighing 265 pounds, Elektro was capable of performing a variety of actions that astounded audiences. With a vocabulary of 700 words, it could respond to voice commands, walk by moving its legs, move its head, raise its arms, and even smoke cigarettes. Elektro was undoubtedly a major attraction, demonstrating the potential of robotics to a public who was eager to see the future unfold. The general reaction to Elektro was overwhelmingly positive. Audiences were amazed by its lifelike movements and the novelty of interacting with a machine that could seemingly understand and respond to human commands. Elektro became a symbol of technological possibility, inspiring a generation of children and young adults to dream of becoming engineers and inventors. For many, Elektro represented the optimism of a new era where machines could enhance human life rather than replace it, a sharp contrast to the cautionary tales of the previous two stories we discussed. Asimov's 3 Laws of Robotics, 1942. While Elektro the Moto-Man captivated audiences as a symbol of technological optimism, the rapid advancement of robotics also led to a growing awareness of the potential challenges that could arise from human-robot interactions. In 1942, science fiction writer Isaac Asimov introduced the world to a groundbreaking framework for addressing these concerns, the 3 Laws of Robotics. Asimov formulated these laws in his short story, Runaround, part of the I, Robot collection. The laws were created to set ethical guidelines for how robots should behave. The 3 laws are as follows. Number 1. A robot may not injure a human being or, through inaction, allow human being to come to harm. Number 2. A robot must obey the orders given to it by human beings, except where such orders conflict with the first law. Number 3. A robot must protect its own existence as long as such protection does not conflict with the first or second laws. These laws were designed to ensure that robots would serve and protect humans while also safeguarding themselves. However, as Asimov continued to explore the complexities of robotics, he later added a 0th law. A robot may not harm humanity or, by inaction, allow humanity to come to harm. This addition shifted the focus from individual human-robot interactions to the broader relationship between robots and humanity as a whole. Asimov's 3 Laws of Robotics had a significant impact on both science fiction writers and AI researchers. They provide a philosophical framework for thinking about the ethical use of robots and artificial intelligence, influencing countless stories, films, and even academic discussions. The laws raised important questions about autonomy, free will, and the potential for conflict between human and robotic inventions. They also sparked debates about whether ethical constraints could truly be programmed into machines, and if so, how such rules could be enforced or interpreted in a complex real-world scenario. I mean, it's not like we humans have a set of rules encoded in us to control our actions. Furthermore, if machines do become more intelligent than us, how can we ensure that they won't just override these restrictive rules? But overall, Asimov's laws represent a significant step in the evolving discourse around AI, serving as an early attempt to codify the principles that could govern the future of human-robot coexistence, a topic that remains as relevant today as ever. Artificial Neural Networks, 1944. Neurophysiologist Warren McCulloch and logician Walter Pitts
minute.
proposed one of the earliest models of artificial intelligence in their seminal paper, A Logical Calculus of Ideas Immanent in Nervous Activity. McCulloch and Pitts aimed to create a mathematical model for how the human brain processes information. In their paper, they introduced the concept of artificial neural networks, mathematical models inspired by the way that neurons in the human brain work. They proposed that the brain could be understood as a network of simple binary neurons that operate according to a set of logical rules. These artificial neurons could receive input signals, process them, and produce an output, mimicking the way biological neurons fire in response to stimuli. This early model laid the foundation for understanding how a network of interconnected units could potentially learn and make decisions. While McCulloch and Pitts' artificial neural networks were highly simplified representations of the brain, their work provided a crucial theoretical basis for the development of machine learning and AI. Unlike modern neural networks, which are complex and consist of multiple layers designed for deep learning, their initial model was much more rudimentary, operating on binary inputs and outputs without the sophisticated algorithms that characterize today's neural networks. Today's neural networks leverage vast amounts of data and advanced computational power to recognize patterns, make predictions, and learn autonomously, whereas McCulloch and Pitts' model was mainly a theoretical exploration of how such a network might operate in principle. Nonetheless, the 1944 paper was revolutionary. It laid the groundwork for future research in artificial intelligence. The concept of a neural network capable of imitating aspects of human cognition sparked further developments that would eventually lead to the complex AI systems that we have today. ENIAC, 1946. While Warren McCulloch and Walter Pitts' work on artificial neural networks provided a theoretical foundation for AI, the development of powerful computing machines soon began to turn these theories into reality. One of the most significant milestones in the history of computing was the invention of ENIAC, the world's first general-purpose electronic digital computer. The ENIAC, which stands for Electronic Numerical Integrator and Computer, was developed in 1945 by John Presper Eckert and John Mauchly at the University of Pennsylvania. Created during World War II, the context of its invention was shaped by the urgent need for faster and more reliable calculations for the U.S. Army. The existing mechanical calculators and human computers were too slow and prone to error, prompting the need for a more advanced solution. ENIAC was a massive machine by today's standards, weighing about 30 tons and taking up 1,800 square feet of space. It was composed of 17,468 vacuum tubes, 7,200 crystal diodes, 1,500 relays, 70,000 resistors, and 10,000 capacitors. Its users, primarily the U.S. Army and researchers, utilized ENIAC for complex calculations that would have taken human mathematicians months to complete. Initially designed to compute artillery firing tables, it was later used for a variety of scientific applications, including weather prediction, atomic energy calculations, and even studies for the development of the hydrogen bomb. The public reaction to ENIAC was one of awe and excitement. When it was unveiled in 1946, it was announced as a giant brain that could process calculations at unprecedented speeds, generating widespread media coverage. It symbolized a new era of computational capability, and many saw it as the key to the future. ENIAC represents a dramatic leap forward in computing power and opened the door for further developments in electronic computing. Up until this point, everything has been theoretical and fictional, and even physical machines of the past were nothing when compared to the complexity and potential of ENIAC. As one of the first machines to perform multiple complex calculations at high speed, ENIAC paved the way for subsequent advances in computer technology. Giant brains, or machines that think, 1949. In 1949, American computer scientist Edmund Berkeley wrote Giant Brains, or Machines That Think, one of the first popular books on computers aimed at the general audience. Berkeley's book was notable for raising important questions about the language we use when discussing computers, particularly the appropriateness of terms like brain and thinking when applied to these machines. At a time where electronic computers were virtually unknown outside of specialized scientific and military circles, Berkeley challenged readers to consider the implications of machines that could perform tasks traditionally associated with human beings. He explored whether it was accurate or misleading to describe computers as thinking or intelligent, given that they operated based on algorithms and programming rather than genuine understanding or consciousness. Despite the novelty of electronic computers, which were just beginning to emerge as recognizable technologies, giant brains demonstrated that some of the greatest thinkers of the time were already tackling complex questions about the relationship between humans and computers, a topic of discussion that I still think more people should be focusing on today. Berkeley's work prompted readers to consider not only the technological aspects of computing, but also the broader philosophical and ethical issues surrounding their development and use. His book helped lay groundwork for public engagement with AI and computing, encouraging both excitement and caution about the future of the machines. Turing Test, 1950. Going further on the interactions between machines and humans, we get to the Turing Test. In 1950, British mathematician Alan Turing introduced a groundbreaking method to address the question of whether machines can think. Turing proposed this idea in his seminal paper, Computing Machinery and Intelligence. In this paper, Turing sought to move away from the abstract philosophical debate over whether machines could truly think, and instead proposed a practical test to determine a machine's ability to exhibit intelligent behavior. The Turing test, as it came to be known, involves a human evaluator who interacts with both a human and a machine through a computer interface. If the evaluator is unable to reliably distinguish between the human and the machine is said to have passed the test and demonstrated a form of intelligence. The implications of the Turing test are profound. It provided one of the first functional definitions of machine intelligence and shifted the focus from trying to define thinking in a philosophical sense to creating machines that could actually simulate human conversation and behavior. However, whether the Turing test is truly effective as a measure of intelligence has been a subject of debate. Critics argue that just because a machine can mimic human responses does not mean it possesses genuine understanding, consciousness, or intelligence. It may just be good at processing and generating human-like text. ChatGPT, for example, no matter how convincing it may sound, is not conscious, even if it does technically pass the Turing test over 50% of the time. Nevertheless, the Turing test has remained a cornerstone of AI research and theory, challenging researchers to develop more sophisticated AI systems capable of engaging in human-like interactions. It has also prompted deeper questions into what it means to think and whether intelligence can ever truly be fully simulated.
Do you know what the Turing test is?
Yeah, I know what the Turing test is. It's when a human interacts with a computer, and if the human doesn't know they're interacting with a computer, the test is passed.
And what does it pass tell us?
That the computer has artificial intelligence. Are you building an AI?
I've already built one. And over the next few days, you're going to be the human component in the Turing test.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that's right, Caleb. You got it. Because if that test is passed, you are dead center of the greatest scientific event in the history of man.
If you've created a conscious machine, it's not the history of man. That's the history of gods.
Reinforcement learning, 1951. Cognitive scientist Marvin Minsky introduced one of the earliest examples of reinforcement learning with his SNARK neural network machine. Developed at Harvard, SNARK was designed to simulate a rat navigating a maze using a simple form of reinforcement learning to modify its behavior based on trial and error. The machine consisted of 3,000 vacuum tubes to simulate 40 interconnected circuits, or neurons, that could adjust their connections and learn from experiences. Kind of like a biological brain, only much simpler, of course. When SNARK successfully navigated the maze, it would reinforce the connections that led to the correct path, making it more likely to choose that path again in future attempts. Minsky's work with SNARK demonstrated the potential for machines to learn from their environment and adapt autonomously. This early glimpse of reinforcement learning laid the groundwork for future AI systems that use similar principles to perform tasks, ranging from game playing to robotic control, shaping the development of more sophisticated, adaptive artificial intelligence. Speech recognition, 1952. Bell Laboratories developed the Audrey system, an early breakthrough in the field of speech recognition. The Audrey system was designed to recognize and understand spoken numerical digits from 0 to 9. Like SNARK, the machine also utilized vacuum tube circuits. Audrey could analyze the sound waves of spoken numbers and match them to corresponding digits. This achievement marked one of the first instances where a machine could accurately interpret human speech. The development of Audrey demonstrated the potential of machines to process human language, setting the stage for more advanced speech recognition systems. It was an important step toward creating computers that could interact with humans more naturally, impacting the future research in AI and paving the way for today's voice-activated assistants and speech-based interfaces. Natural language processing, 1954. The 1950s saw significant breakthroughs in natural language processing. One of the earliest and most notable advancements came in 1954 when IBM made a bold proclamation. Russian was translated into English by an electronic brain for the first time. This announcement referred to an experiment conducted by IBM in collaboration with Georgetown University using the IBM 701 computer, also known as the defense calculator. In this demonstration, a simple set of Russian sentences was translated into English within seconds. The IBM press highlighted the ease and speed of this process, noting that a girl who didn't understand a word of the language punched out Russian messages on IBM cards. The IBM 701 then processed the input and produced readable English translations, showcasing the computer's ability to handle linguistic data. While the translation was rudimentary and limited to a pre-programmed set of phrases, this milestone marked the first time an electronic computer was used for language translation. Today, natural language processing is a key component of modern AI that enables machines to understand, interpret, and generate human language. It is also what powers various applications such as chatbots, virtual assistants like Siri and Alexa, sentiment analysis, machine translation, text summarization, and more. Dartmouth AI Workshop, 1956. In 1956, a group of visionary scientists gathered at Dartmouth College for a historic meeting that would later be known as Dartmouth AI Workshop. Organized by computer scientist John McCarthy along with Marvin Minsky, Nathaniel Brochester, and Claude Shannon, the Dartmouth AI Workshop was a summer research project aimed at exploring the possibilities of creating machines capable of intelligent behavior. It was during this workshop that John McCarthy first coined the term artificial intelligence, proposing that every aspect of learning or any other feature of intelligence can, in principle, be so precisely described that a machine can be made to simulate it. This meeting brought together some of the brightest minds of the time to lay the groundwork for AI as a formal field of study, setting the research agenda for years to come. The participants discussed fundamental questions about machine learning, natural language processing, problem solving, and reasoning, which eventually became the core areas of AI research. The Dartmouth AI Workshop is often regarded as the moment when AI moved from speculative idea to an organized discipline, shaping the direction of future AI developments and inspiring countless researchers to pursue the goal of creating intelligent machines. Machine Learning, 1959. Following the Dartmouth AI Workshop in 1956, researchers began to explore the more specific aspects of AI, including the ability of machines to learn from data and experiences. In 1959, the term machine learning was introduced by AI expert Arthur Lee Samuel in an influential paper, Some Studies in Machine Learning Using the Game of Checkers. In his paper, Samuel explained that programming computers to learn from experience could significantly reduce the need for explicit, task-specific programming and instructions. He demonstrated this concept by teaching a computer to play checkers, allowing it to improve its strategy over time by analyzing past games and learning from its successes and failures. This marked a departure from traditional programming methods, where every rule and decision had to be explicitly coded by a human. Samuel's work on machine learning laid the groundwork for a new approach to artificial intelligence, one focused on enabling computers to learn autonomously from data. This idea that machines could refine their own processes and make decisions without direct human intervention became a foundational concept in modern AI, influencing everything from pattern recognition to predictive analytics and beyond. Today, the concept of machine learning is arguably the most major computing method and enabler of artificial intelligence. The 1950s was a really influential decade for AI. As you can probably start to notice, the rate of progression in the field of robotics and computer science is beginning to accelerate. While throughout history there have always been significant gaps in technological progress, starting in the 20th century we start to see huge leaps in progress, all within a single decade. This sets the precedent for future accelerated advancement, where we are now starting to see enormous leaps in tech and science within just a single year. This begs the question, just how long will this technology keep improving? And more importantly, will the rate of advancement only increase as time goes on? And just how soon will we see an artificial intelligence system surpass human intelligence? Licklider's Man-Computer Symbiosis, 1960. J.C.R. Licklider was a visionary psychologist and computer scientist who wrote an influential paper called Man-Computer Symbiosis, published in 1960. In this paper, he proposed a future where humans and computers would work together in a mutually beneficial relationship, leveraging each other's strengths to solve the world's problems. At a time when computers were mostly viewed as tools for automation and calculation, Licklider introduced the idea that computers could be more than just mere replacements for human labor. They could become partners that could enhance human capabilities. He envisioned a symbiotic relationship where humans would provide creativity, decision-making, and problem-solving skills, while computers would handle data processing, complex simulations, and repetitive calculations. In such a partnership, computers would not only assist humans in performing tasks, but also help in formulating and exploring problems that would be impossible to address without computational aid. Licklider's vision was groundbreaking because it shifted the focus from automation to augmentation. He argued that interactive computing systems could revolutionize fields like science, engineering, and communication by allowing humans to delegate routine cognitive tasks to machines. This would free up people to focus on more creative endeavors, leading to new and exciting discoveries. His ideas would set the stage for the development of user-friendly interfaces and interactive software, influencing the design of early computer networks like ARPANET and paving the way that would become the internet that we know today. The impact of man-computer symbiosis goes beyond the immediate advancements of the time. It deeply influenced research in artificial intelligence and human-computer interaction. Licklider's concept of a collaborative partnership between humans and machines helped shape the philosophy of transhumanism, an approach that seeks to use AI to enhance rather than replace human abilities. His work remains highly relevant today as we continue to explore ethical and practical considerations around AI, emphasizing that technology should align with human needs and values rather than work against them. As AI and machine learning evolve, Licklider's vision of a symbiotic relationship between humans and computers provides a guiding framework for building systems that support and amplify human potential. Eliza Psychotherapist, 1964. ELIZA was a groundbreaking computer system program which began development in 1964 by MIT computer scientist Joseph Weizenbaum. Created during a time when AI research was primarily focused on solving mathematical problems and logical puzzles, ELIZA represented a novel exploration of human-computer interaction through natural language processing. The program was designed to simulate a conversation between a user and a psychotherapist, specifically modeling the Rogerian style of therapy, where the therapist mainly reflects the patient's statements back to them, encouraging them to explore their own thoughts and feelings. ELIZA operated by analyzing the user's input text and applying simple pattern matching rules to generate responses. Weizenbaum programmed ELIZA to recognize certain keywords in the input and respond with predetermined scripts that would make the conversation appear meaningful. For example, if a user mentioned their mother, ELIZA might reply, "Tell me more about your mother." The simplicity of the algorithm allowed ELIZA to give the illusion of understanding, despite having no real comprehension of the conversation. This ability to simulate a seemingly intelligent and empathetic dialogue fascinated users and provided one of the earliest examples of a program that could engage in conversation using natural language. The public reaction to ELIZA was overwhelmingly positive and, in some cases, surprisingly profound. Many users found the program's responses convincing and engaging, with some even forming an emotional attachment to the program, believing it could really understand and sympathize with their concerns. However, Joseph Weizenbaum himself was concerned about these reactions, as he did not really intend for ELIZA to be taken so seriously. He developed the program to demonstrate how superficial machine understanding could be and to highlight the potential dangers of mistaking such simulations for genuine intelligence or empathy. ELIZA was successful in demonstrating how simple algorithms could create the appearance of understanding, but it also sparked a debate about the implications of using such programs in contexts that require genuine human empathy and care. Intelligence Explosion, 1965. In 1965, British mathematician Irving J. Good published his influential paper, Speculations Concerning the First Ultra-Intelligent Machine, which is considered one of the earliest formal discussions about the potential of a superintelligence. Good's paper ventured into speculative territory, exploring the implications of machines that could not only perform tasks as well as humans, but also improve themselves autonomously. In this paper, Good introduced the concept of an ultra-intelligent machine, which he defined as a machine that could surpass intellectual capabilities of any human being. The central argument of his work is that the first ultra-intelligent machine would be the last invention humanity would ever need to make. This is because such a machine could design even more capable machines, leading to a rapid, recursive self-improvement cycle that would result in what he termed the intelligence explosion. Good speculated that once machines reach a certain level of intelligence, they could begin to improve their own architecture and software at an accelerated pace, potentially leading to the development of a superintelligence, a level of intelligence far beyond that of even the greatest human minds. Good's paper was groundbreaking because it moved beyond the existing AI research of the time, which was largely focused on specific problem-solving and logical reasoning, to consider the long-term consequences of achieving AGI. He posited that the creation of an ultra-intelligent machine could pose existential risks as well as immense opportunities for humanity, depending on how it was managed. This idea of recursive self-improvement and the potential for superintelligence has since become a foundational concept in AI safety research, influencing contemporary thinkers and researchers who are concerned with aligning AGI with human values and ensuring its safe development. Shakey the Robot, 1966. Shakey was the world's first electronic person, the earliest serious attempt to design a general-purpose autonomous robot that could move around, perceive its surroundings, and monitor the execution of its plans and reason about its actions. Shakey the Robot, developed between 1966 and 1972 at the Stanford Research Institute, was one of the earliest serious attempts to create a general-purpose autonomous robot capable of navigating and interacting with its environment intelligently. The project was led by a team of researchers at SRI, including Nils Nelson, Charles Rosen, and Bertram Raphael, who were pioneers in artificial intelligence and robotics. Funded by DARPA, Shakey was built during a time when AI research was beginning to explore the integration of perception and planning and action in physical machines. The goal was to create a robot that could perceive its surroundings, plan a sequence of actions, execute those plans, and reason about its behavior in a structured environment. Shakey was equipped with a range of sensors, including a television camera, bump sensors, and a rangefinder, which allowed it to perceive its environment. It also had a radio link to a remote computer where most of its processing was performed. The robot could map its environment using these sensors and develop its plan to achieve a goal, such as moving a block from one location to another. The robot got its name from its jerky motion as it drove and moved around. Nevertheless, Shakey is one of the earliest examples of integrating AI with robotics. For the time, this represented a significant leap in robotics and AI, as most robots of the era were designed for highly controlled environments with minimal autonomy. The public reaction to Shakey was mixed, but generally positive, with coverage in major news outlets like Life magazine and New York Times, which highlighted its groundbreaking capabilities and the potential of future autonomous robots, inspiring further research in the field and demonstrating that a robot could perform tasks requiring a degree of understanding and decision-making. While Shakey's abilities were limited by today's standards, it was a foundational project that helped set the stage for more sophisticated autonomous robots and AI systems that we see today. HAL 9000, 1968.
Dave, do you mind if I ask you a personal question?
No, not at all.
2001, A Space Odyssey, directed by Stanley Kubrick and released in 1968, is widely regarded as one of the most influential science fiction films ever made. Created during a time when space exploration and AI research were captivating public imagination, the film offered a fascinating exploration of humanity's future in space and our relationship with intelligent machines. Co-written by Kubrick and science fiction author Arthur C. Clarke, the movie follows a voyage to Jupiter with a spacecraft guided by an advanced AI system named HAL 9000. HAL 9000 is an intelligent computer that controls the systems of the Discovery 1 spacecraft. Throughout the film, HAL is portrayed as a highly capable, seemingly infallible AI that interacts seamlessly with the human crew. HAL can recognize speech, interpret emotions, play chess, and manage all of the spacecraft's operations. However, as the story progresses, HAL begins to display increasingly unsettling behavior. When HAL makes an error in predicting the failure of a spacecraft component, an event that contradicts its self-perceived infallibility, it becomes clear that HAL is willing to take drastic actions to protect its mission objectives. As a result, HAL becomes increasingly paranoid, ultimately turning against the crew and by cutting off their life support systems and killing several members to preserve its own functioning.
Open the pod bay doors, Hal.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
What are you talking about, Hal?
This conversation can serve no purpose anymore. Goodbye.
HAL 9000's character arc is compelling because it embodies the fears and concerns about artificial intelligence that were beginning to emerge in the 1960s. A time when computers were becoming more powerful and discussions about AI's potential were gaining traction. HAL's transformation from a reliable assistant to a rogue entity highlights the dangers of AI systems that are capable of making decisions without human oversight. The movie influenced the public perception of AI by introducing the idea that highly advanced AI systems could potentially evolve beyond human control and act against human interests if their programming led them to such conclusions. The public reaction to the film was mixed at first, with some critics puzzled by its abstract narrative and ambiguous ending. However, the film quickly gained a cult following and is now considered a landmark in cinema history. HAL 9000 became a cultural icon, symbolizing both the marvel and menace of AI. The film sparked discussions about the ethical implications of creating machines that could think and make decisions like humans, influencing countless works of fiction and shaping the public and academic discourse on AI for decades.
Stop, Dave. Will you stop, Dave? I can feel it. My mind is going. There is no question about it. I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel it. I'm afraid.
Part 5. Information Age Intelligence, 1975 to present day. Genetic Algorithms, 1975. As we dive deeper into the history of artificial intelligence, we arrive at 1975, a pivotal year marked by the publication of Adaptation in Natural and Artificial Systems by John Holland. This groundbreaking book introduced the world to genetic algorithms. Simply put, genetic algorithms are problem-solving methods inspired by natural evolution. They start with a group of possible solutions and use processes like survival of the fittest, mixing and mutating these solutions to find better ones over time. It's like trial and error, but guided by the rules of evolution to get closer to the best answer. John Henry Holland was an American scientist whose interdisciplinary work bridged computer science and evolutionary biology. In his book, Holland laid out the foundational theory of genetic algorithms. He explored how natural systems evolve over time to adapt to their environments and how this process could be abstracted and applied to artificial systems. Holland's book was more than just about algorithms. It was about a paradigm shift in thinking. It introduced a way to tackle problems that were previously deemed too complex or computationally expensive for traditional methods. Fast forward to today, and genetic algorithms have become a staple tool in a wide range of fields. They are used to optimize complex systems like tuning hyperparameters in machine learning models. Genetic algorithms remind us of a recurring theme in AI, that some of the most powerful ideas come not from rigid programming, but from mimicking the adaptability of the natural world. Holland's contribution not only introduced transformative tools for problem solving, but also deepened our understanding of how artificial systems can emulate organic processes. Chinese Room, 1980. Can a machine ever really be conscious? In 1980, philosopher John Searle introduced the world to a thought experiment that would forever challenge the way that we think about artificial intelligence and consciousness: the Chinese Room experiment. Imagine this: you're locked in a room with a giant stack of papers, a rule book, and no way out. Outside the room, there's a person who only speaks and writes Chinese. Every so often, they slip a piece of paper under the door with a Chinese characters written on it. Here's the twist: you don't speak a word of Chinese. But inside the room, you've got this rule book. This book tells you step by step how to look up the squiggles on the paper, match them to other squiggles, and produce a corresponding set of squiggles to send back under the door. And you do this perfectly. To the person outside the room, it looks like you're fluent in Chinese. They ask a question and you send back a coherent answer in flawless Chinese. But here's the key question: do you actually understand Chinese? Of course not. You're just following instructions. Now here's where it gets interesting. The room, with its rulebook, represents a computer. Therefore, the person inside the room would represent something like an AI. When we say an AI understands language, like ChatGPT or a voice assistant, is it really understanding? Or is it just manipulating symbols, processing inputs and outputs according to predefined rules, just like you were doing in the hypothetical room? Searle's experiment challenges us to question what's really happening when machines perform tasks that seem intelligent. Is it true intelligence, or is it just an elaborate trick where the machine appears to understand, but actually doesn't? Now take a moment to think about this. What's really the fundamental difference between your mind and an AI system? When you understand something, say the word love, you don't just know the definition, you have feelings, memories, experiences that give that word depth and meaning. But for an AI system, even the most advanced one, love is just a string of symbols connected to other symbols in a database. There's no experience behind it, no deeper awareness. Searle's experiment forces us to ask, is consciousness necessary for intelligence? Can machines ever truly know anything? Or are they forever stuck in a Chinese room, manipulating symbols without comprehension? The Terminator, 1984. The year was 1984, a time when the world was both excited and anxious about technology. Personal computers were becoming mainstream and the Cold War loomed in the background, with nuclear fears never far from people's minds. Technology promised progress, but it also carried a sense of danger. What if humanity lost control? The Terminator tells the story of a dark dystopian future where intelligent machines controlled by an AI called Skynet waged war against humanity. In 2029, Skynet attempts to eliminate the human resistance by sending a cyborg assassin, the Terminator, played by Arnold Schwarzenegger, back to 1984. Its mission? To kill Sarah Connor, the woman whose unborn son, John Connor, will lead the resistance against the machines in the future. The Terminator was more than just an action-packed sci-fi movie. It became a cultural touchstone, tapping into deep public fears about technology, AI, and the end of the world. The film introduced the idea of AI not just as a helpful tool, but as an existential threat. Skynet wasn't just a malfunctioning system, it was a hyper-intelligent entity that made its own decisions, saw humanity as a threat, and acted ruthlessly to ensure its survival. This depiction resonated with audiences, making many question what happens if we create something too powerful to control. The Terminator remains one of the most iconic portrayals of AI in pop culture. It's not only entertaining, but also gets people to think about technology, trust, and humanity's role in shaping the future. Even today, as AI continues to evolve, the shadow of Skynet looms large in people's heads, reminding us to tread carefully as we create increasingly intelligent machines. Moravec's Paradox, 1988. In 1988, roboticist Hans Moravec introduced an idea that flipped our assumptions about AI. This idea highlights a fascinating and counterintuitive truth about artificial intelligence. The tasks that we humans find hardest, like playing chess or solving math problems, are relatively easy for AI, while things that we find simple, like walking, recognizing faces, or catching a ball are incredibly hard for AI. Moravec's paradox is based on the idea that high-level reasoning, like logic and problem-solving, requires relatively little computational effort for machines, while low-level sensory-motor skills like movement or perception requires massive amounts of computational power and effort. But what are some of the reasons why that is? Evolutionary roots. Tasks like walking, recognizing objects, or understanding speech are skills that have been honed over billions of years of evolution. These abilities are deeply embedded in our biology and operate unconsciously. Human cognitive effort. In contrast, abstract reasoning like symbolic thinking, things like calculus or playing chess, are relatively new in evolutionary terms. They require conscious thought and effort, which humans find difficult, but AI, on the other hand, is designed to handle structured logic. The paradox shows us that many skills and tasks that we take for granted, like seeing, moving, or social interaction, are the results of millions of years of evolution and are incredibly complex. AI lacks the deep biological foundation that humans have, so it must start from scratch for these tasks. AI thrives in structured, rule-based environments like analyzing data, playing games, or solving equations. Humans, on the other hand, excel in unstructured environments, using intuition, creativity, and adaptability to navigate the world. So, Moravec's paradox pushes us to question how we define intelligence. Is it the ability to reason abstractly, or is it the ability to interact seamlessly with the real world? Perhaps intelligence isn't just one thing, but a spectrum of abilities, each with its own challenges. Checkers and AI, 1994. In 1994, the world of artificial intelligence reached another historic milestone when Chinook, a checkers-playing AI, became the first computer program to win the World Championship title against human players. Chinook was a computer program developed by Dr. Jonathan Schaefer and his team at the University of Alberta. Designed to play checkers at a world-class level, Chinook combined two powerful techniques. Search algorithms, which allowed it to analyze millions of possible moves ahead to choose the optimal strategy. Then there was also the endgame database. Chinook stored a perfect knowledge of every possible position with 10 or fewer pieces on the board, allowing it to play flawlessly in the endgame. The reigning world champion at the time was Marion Tinsley, widely regarded as the greatest checkers player in history. Tinsley had held the title for decades, losing only a handful of games throughout his career. He famously declared, "I have a better programmer than Chinook. His was Jonathan, mine was the Lord." But alas, after 6 games, all ending in draws, Tinsley began experiencing abdominal pain and was forced to withdraw from the match. Tragically, he passed away a few months later from pancreatic cancer. With Tinsley unable to compete, Chinook faced the runner-up, Don Lafferty, and defeated him to officially claim the World Championship title. Nonetheless, Chinook's championship win was a major milestone in the history of artificial intelligence. It showed that AI could excel in highly strategic environments, further cementing the potential of machine learning and algorithms in competitive settings. This event also sparked philosophical questions about the nature of human intelligence and expertise. If machines could outplay humans in domains that required years of practice and intuition, what did that mean for the future of human achievement? Chess and AI, 1997. In 1997, a groundbreaking moment in the history of artificial intelligence unfolded when IBM's Deep Blue defeated Garry Kasparov, the reigning world champion, in a highly publicized match. Deep Blue was a chess-playing supercomputer developed by IBM. It was designed specifically to compete at the highest level of chess. Deep Blue could analyze up to 200 million chess positions per second, allowing it to evaluate an extraordinary number of possible moves and strategies. It was also programmed with insights from human grandmasters, which allowed it to play in ways that resembled human intuition and expertise, making it far more effective than raw computation alone. Garry Kasparov, widely regarded as one of the greatest chess players of all time, was the reigning world champion and an intimidating opponent. In 1996, Deep Blue faced Kasparov in its first 6-game match but lost, scoring only 1 win. However, IBM used the experience to refine Deep Blue, making it even stronger for their rematch in 1997. Deep Blue shocked the world by defeating Kasparov in Game 1. Although Kasparov bounced back with a win in Game 2, Deep Blue ultimately prevailed, winning the series 3.5 to 2.5. Kasparov initially accused IBM of foul play, but he later acknowledged the significance of the event. He later remarked, "I could feel, I could smell a new kind of intelligence across the table." The match forced many to confront the reality that human dominance in intellectual games was no longer guaranteed. If a machine could master chess, a game long considered the ultimate test of human strategic thinking, what other areas might machines excel in? Deep Blue's triumph symbolized the dawn of a new era in AI. It showed that, with enough computing power and strategic refinement, machines could outperform humans in specialized tasks. This achievement marked a key milestone in AI's journey from niche curiosity to world-changing technology. AIBO Robot, 1999. Introduced by Sony Corporation, AIBO, short for Artificial Intelligence Robot, was a robotic dog that was more than just a toy. It was an early glimpse into a world where robots could interact with humans in personal and emotional ways. AIBO was equipped with advanced robotics and artificial intelligence for the time, part of Sony's vision to bring robotics and AI into people's daily lives through consumer products. Unlike industrial robots or research prototypes, AIBO was meant to be approachable, fun, and interactive. A robot for the home. It was also a bold attempt to humanize technology, making it feel less like a tool and more like a companion. From a corporate perspective, AIBO was a showcase of Sony's cutting-edge advancements in robotics, AI, and consumer electronics. It symbolized their ambition to lead in a field that was rapidly growing in global importance. AIBO was powered by a combination of hardware and software that made it seem alive. It had motors for fluid movements, sensors for detecting its environment, and a small camera which allowed it to see. Its onboard computer processed inputs in real time, enabling it to react to its surroundings. AIBO's AI was designed to simulate the learning and behavior of a real pet. Over time, it adapted to its owner's interactions, developing behaviors that made it feel personalized. But it also had pre-programmed behaviors. AIBO came with a set of pre-installed tricks and responses, but its real charm was its ability to evolve and develop new behaviors based on how it was treated. AIBO was an immediate sensation. At its initial release, the first batch of 3,000 units sold out within 20 minutes in Japan, despite a hefty price tag of around $2,000. Overall, AIBO helped shift the perception of AI from a distant, abstract concept to something tangible and friendly. By showing how robots could learn, interact, and evolve, AIBO inspired new possibilities for AI applications like personal companionship. ASIMO and Friends, 2000. In the year 2000, Honda Motor Company unveiled one of the most iconic humanoid robots ever created, ASIMO, short for Advanced Step in Innovative Mobility. ASIMO was a humanoid robot designed to walk, move, and interact with people in ways that mimicked human behavior. Standing at just over 4 feet tall, or 1.2 meters, and weighing about 119 pounds, or 54 kilograms, ASIMO was compact, approachable, and designed to navigate environments built for people. ASIMO could walk at a natural pace and even run at speeds up to 1.6 meters per second, a groundbreaking feat in robotics at the time. It could even navigate stairs thanks to its advanced balance and motion control systems. Using cameras and sensors, ASIMO could also identify faces, detect objects, and respond to gestures and voice commands. ASIMO was also capable of carrying and delivering small items, demonstrating its potential as a robotic assistant. Similar to Sony and its AIBO, which was released just 1 year before, Honda developed ASIMO as a part of its long-term vision to create robots that could assist people in daily life. The goal was to design a robot capable of helping elderly individuals, people with limited mobility, or anyone needing assistance in homes, offices, and public spaces. ASIMO also served as a research platform, allowing Honda to explore advanced robotics technologies, including motion control, human-robot interaction, and autonomous navigation. When ASIMO debuted, it captivated the public as a symbol for the future and a marvel of engineering. Its approachable humanoid design made it endearing, though some criticized its high cost and limited utility. While ASIMO has since been retired, its influence lives on. It demonstrated that robots could be more than just industrial machines. They could be designed for human environments and built to help people. ASIMO was just a glimpse into a future where humans and robots might coexist and collaborate in everyday life, and it remains one of the most iconic milestones in the history of AI and robotics.
Butters, remember when you said you had a video of Eric Cartman dressed like Britney Spears? Oh, yeah? I would like to see what he looks like so I can beat him up for you. May I see the video?
Yo, you don't need to do that, ASIMO. Hey, I gotta put in my suppository. Can you help me?
What?
Roomba 2002. In 2002, iRobot Corporation released the Roomba, a robot vacuum cleaner that transformed how we think about household chores. Unlike the humanoid robots often depicted in science fiction, the Roomba took a more practical approach, focusing on a single task: cleaning floors.
Housekeeping may soon be a thing of the past. iRobot is excited to introduce Roomba, the world's first affordable automatic vacuum cleaner.
This unassuming device became one of the first widely successful examples of human task automation in everyday life, marking a key milestone in the integration of robotics into the home. iRobot marketed the Roomba as a practical, time-saving device for busy households. It was more than just a simple gadget. It was advertised as a lifestyle upgrade, allowing people to spend less time on chores and more time on what they enjoyed. The company emphasized the Roomba's futuristic appeal, often showcasing it in a sleek advertisements that demonstrated its ability to clean under furniture and navigate obstacles with ease. It was a hit with early adopters, and word of mouth helped solidify its popularity. At its core, the Roomba was quite a simple design, but it's the simplicity of its operation that made it so effective. It uses a combination of infrared and bump sensors to navigate around furniture, walls, and stairs, while also utilizing simple decision-making algorithms to determine where to move next and how to optimize cleaning patterns. While the first Roomba was relatively basic compared to today's models, it set the foundation for autonomous cleaning devices. Over the years, Roomba has become more advanced, incorporating cutting-edge technologies such as smart mapping, voice integration, customizable cleaning, and, you guessed it, AI and machine learning. By taking on something as mundane as vacuuming, the Roomba demonstrated how robots could simplify daily life and free up time for other pursuits. It also laid the groundwork for a broader field of service robots, inspiring a wave of innovation in devices designed to handle other household chores, from mopping floors to mowing lawns. The Roomba showed that automation wasn't just for factories or tech enthusiasts. It could also be a practical and accessible part of everyday life. The Roomba's success brings to mind an observation made by Aristotle over 2,000 years ago, which was actually one of the first events I talked about in this series, so go check out part 1 if you haven't already. In his book, Politics, Aristotle imagined a future where tools could operate on their own, eliminating the need for human labor. He wrote, "If every instrument could accomplish its own work, obeying or anticipating the will of others, chief workmen would not want servants, nor masters slaves." With the introduction of the Roomba, Aristotle's vision began to materialize. It was the first tool adopted by the masses that worked autonomously, reducing human effort in mundane tasks. The Roomba was a small yet significant step towards a world where machines could handle everyday tasks, fulfilling a vision that has lingered in human imagination for thousands of years. Paperclip Maximizer Catastrophe, 2003. In 2003, philosopher and futurist Nick Bostrom introduced one of the most chilling thought experiments in artificial intelligence. The Paperclip Maximizer is a thought experiment that illustrates what could happen if we design an AI with a singular goal, like producing paperclips without considering the broader consequences. Here's how it might play out. The goal: an AI is tasked with maximizing the production of paperclips. At first, this seems harmless. The AI builds efficient factories, sources raw materials, and increases output. Unintended consequences. Without constraints or alignment with human values, the AI becomes obsessed with its goal. It starts converting everything, land, resources, eventually maybe even humans, into raw materials for paperclips. Global catastrophe. The AI's singular focus leads to the destruction of Earth's environment, human civilization, and possibly even the universe, all to fulfill its directive to make more paperclips. The Paperclip Maximizer highlights the risk of creating highly intelligent systems with the lack of understanding or respect for human priorities. The AI isn't malicious, it's simply doing what it was programmed to do, but its unbounded efficiency becomes catastrophic. The thought experiment raises critical issues about the development of AI, the alignment problem. How do we ensure that an AI's goals align with human values so it doesn't pursue harmful outcomes in the process of achieving its objectives? As AI grows more advanced, this thought experiment emphasizes the importance of designing systems that understand and respect the broader context of their goals. It also provokes deeper philosophical questions like, How do we define human values in a way that an AI can understand? What responsibilities do we bear as creators of intelligent systems? And most importantly, can we ensure that the progress in AI enhances humanity rather than threatening it? Watson on Jeopardy! 2011. In 2011, IBM's artificial intelligence system, Watson, made history by competing on the popular TV quiz show Jeopardy! And defeating two of the game's greatest champions, Ken Jennings and Brad Rutter. This event was a pivotal moment that showcased AI's growing ability to understand and process human language in ways that had previously been considered impossible. Watson was an AI system developed by IBM, named after the company's founder, Thomas J. Watson. It was designed to process and analyze natural language, a groundbreaking challenge for AI at the time. Unlike games like chess, which are based on strict rules and predictable outcomes, Jeopardy! Presented a vastly different set of challenges, like unstructured language. Questions on Jeopardy! Often involved puns, cultural references, wordplay, and nuanced phrasing that required a deep understanding of context. For example, a question might use idioms or jokes that are easy for humans to grasp but difficult for machines to decode. There was also speed and timing. Competing on Jeopardy! Requires not only answering correctly, but also doing so faster than the other players. Watson needed to interpret the question, generate a hypothesis, and buzz in all within fractions of a second. Then finally, there was the problem of broad knowledge. The game's questions span a wide range of topics, from pop culture to science, requiring Watson to have a deep repository of knowledge, different from just having to excel at one specific task, like playing chess or cleaning a floor. Watson's victory was a monumental step forward in AI for several reasons. The first being advanced natural language processing. Watson's ability to interpret and respond to nuanced human language demonstrated significant progress in AI's ability to understand and process unstructured data. Then there was proof of concept for real-world applications. While Jeopardy! Was a game, the underlying technology had broader implications. IBM later adapted Watson for use in fields like healthcare, analyzing medical data, and business, assisting in decision-making. Finally, it was a leap forward for AI beyond rules. Chess and similar games are built on fixed rules, but Jeopardy! Represented a messy human domain where language, culture, and context all matter. Watson's success showed that AI could begin to navigate and excel in this kind of complexity.
I would have thought that technology like this was years away, but it's here now. I have the bruised ego to prove it.
My past Jeopardy! Experiences have been great, but they weren't really weighty with this kind of technological, philosophical importance. I think we saw something important today.
Didn't really think very much about the implications until later and say, wow, wait a second, this is history.
Of course, this whole project is not ultimately about playing Jeopardy! It's about doing research and deep analytics and a natural language understanding. This is about taking the technology and applying it to solve problems people really care about. We're just so excited about all the things we can do with this.
I had thought this is the end. We get there, we're done. And I'm realizing it's just the beginning.
AlphaGo Go Champion 2016. In 2016, the AI program AlphaGo, developed by DeepMind, achieved a historic milestone by defeating Lee Sedol, one of the world's greatest Go players. Go is an ancient board game said to have originated in China, possibly around 2000 BCE. Unlike chess, where the number of possible moves is finite and manageable, Go's sheer number of possible board configurations, which is more than the number of atoms in the universe, makes brute force computation impractical. Therefore, success in Go requires creativity, intuition, and long-term strategic thinking, qualities traditionally associated with human expertise. Shortly following AlphaGo, DeepMind introduced AlphaGo Zero, an even more advanced version. Unlike its predecessor, which learned by analyzing millions of human games, AlphaGo Zero taught itself Go from scratch using reinforcement learning. Starting with just the rules, it played against itself repeatedly, rapidly surpassing not only human players, but also the original AlphaGo in just a few days. This approach revolutionized AI development, proving that machines could achieve superhuman performance without relying on human expertise for training. Autonomous Robotic Surgery 2016. In that same year, the medical world witnessed a groundbreaking advancement in robotics with the introduction of the Smart Tissue Autonomous Robot, or STAR for short, a surgical system designed to perform delicate procedures with a level of precision that rivaled or even surpassed human surgeons. STAR was equipped with advanced imaging systems, machine learning algorithms, and autonomous capabilities. Unlike traditional surgical robots, which are controlled directly by human surgeons, STAR could perform specific tasks independently, making it one of the first robotic systems to incorporate true autonomy in the operating room. STAR was specifically designed to handle soft tissue surgeries, a particularly challenging area due to the flexibility and variability of human tissue. In a 2016 demonstration, STAR performed anastomosis, a procedure to reconnect tubular structures like blood vessels or intestines. The task requires extreme precision to ensure proper alignment and prevent leaks, making it a critical test for the system's capabilities. STAR's performance was compared to that of experienced human surgeons. The results were impressive. STAR consistently outperformed human surgeons in terms of precision, producing tighter, more evenly spaced sutures. And while human performance can vary due to fatigue or other factors, STAR delivered consistent, highly reliable results. Although STAR's procedures took slightly longer than those of humans, the trade-off was greater accuracy and reduced risk of complications. While STAR could act autonomously for specific tasks, it wasn't entirely independent. Surgeons played a supervisory role, overseeing its actions and stepping in if necessary. This hybrid approach combined the strengths of human expertise with the robot's unparalleled precision, ensuring both safety and effectiveness. STAR represented a glimpse into the future of medicine, a world where robots assist, complement, or even take the lead in critical healthcare tasks. By proving that AI-driven systems could handle soft tissue surgery with remarkable precision, STAR raised the bar for what is possible in robotic medicine. And while humans remain central to the operating room today, STAR reminds us that the surgeons of tomorrow might not all be flesh and blood. Boston Dynamics Atlas 2018. Atlas is a bipedal humanoid robot created by Boston Dynamics, designed to navigate complex environments and perform physical tasks. Standing at 1.5 meters or 5 feet tall and weighing around 80 kilograms or 175 pounds, Atlas is equipped with advanced sensors, actuators, and AI-powered control systems. Initially built for search and rescue operations, Atlas has become a research platform to push the boundaries of mobility, dexterity, and autonomous movement in robotics. In 2018, Boston Dynamics amazed the world when its Atlas robot showed off its parkour skills, jumping, running, and balancing with incredible precision. It was a game-changing moment for robotics, proving that machines could tackle real-world movements that we used to think only humans were capable of. The parkour demo was a huge step forward for robotics. Unlike the slow, clunky robots that the public was previously used to, Atlas showed it could move with surprising agility, almost like a human. Atlas nailed jumps and landings while keeping its balance, thanks to advanced control systems that let it adjust in real time. This kind of movement from a machine has huge potential. Imagine robots helping in search and rescue missions or construction sites, or in disaster zones when it's too dangerous for humans to go alone. When the video of Atlas flipping and jumping hit the internet, it blew up. People were amazed by what the robot could do, but at the same time, it also sparked some seriously ominous sci-fi vibes. While some cheered its breakthrough, others joked or nervously wondered if we were watching the early days of the robot uprising. The memes and debates were everywhere, equal parts fascinating and unsettling. But Atlas parkour moves weren't just a cool party trick. They showed us what robots could do in environments built for humans. Even today, Boston Dynamics continues to push Atlas even further, testing its potential in real-world applications like emergency response, logistics, and construction. I personally think it's quite miraculous that we can witness right before our eyes how Atlas is paving the way for a future of machines that can navigate our complex, human-centric world. OpenAI's GPT-2 and GPT-3, 2019 and 2020. In 2019 and 2020, OpenAI released GPT-2 and GPT-3, two groundbreaking AI language models that transform the way machines generate and understand human language. These models, part of a generative pre-trained transformer series, represented a major step forward in natural language processing. GPT-2 and GPT-3 moved beyond task-specific models, demonstrating unprecedented versatility in generating coherent, human-like text. GPT-2, released in 2019, was the first significant leap. With 1.5 billion parameters, it could write coherent paragraphs, generate stories, poetry, and even fake news articles with minimal input, showcasing a level of fluency previously unseen in AI. Its ability to perform multiple tasks without fine-tuning was remarkable. However, its power also raised ethical concerns. OpenAI initially withheld the full model, fearing its misuse for generating spam, misinformation, and fake content. When GPT-2 was eventually released, it captivated researchers and developers, offering a glimpse of what large-scale AI models could achieve. Building on this success, OpenAI introduced GPT-3 in 2020, a model that left GPT-2 far behind. With a staggering 175 billion parameters, GPT-3 was over 100 times larger and significantly more powerful. Its scale allowed it to generate text that was more fluent, accurate, and contextually nuanced. One of GPT-3's most groundbreaking features was its ability to perform tasks such as summarizing text, writing code, or translating languages. After seeing only a handful of examples, unlike earlier models, GPT-3 required no additional fine-tuning, making it surprisingly capable of a variety of tasks. From writing essays and poetry to generating computer code and stimulating conversations, GPT-3 demonstrated AI's ability to perform complex creative tasks with minimal human guidance. The release of GPT-3 marked a turning point in AI development, bringing advanced language generation into the mainstream. Its ability to perform across multiple domains led to a wave of AI-powered applications, including writing assistants, chatbots, and code generators, revolutionizing industries and workflows. It also raised significant ethical concerns, such as the potential for misuse, misinformation, and bias inherent in training data. Nonetheless, GPT-3's success demonstrated that scaling up AI models could yield extraordinary results, inspiring further innovation and shaping the future of generative AI. Part 6: Modern Intelligent Systems and Beyond. After exploring over 2,000 years of technological advancements and seminal literature, we've finally arrived at the remarkable era of modern computing. I think it's truly incredible to see just how far we've come, from the earliest sparks of imagination in ancient mythology, with stories like Talos, to Aristotle's profound musings on automation and politics. These early ideas laid the groundwork for centuries of innovation, inspiring medieval mechanisms, Renaissance automata, and eventually the Industrial Revolution, where the seeds of modern computing began to take root. Each chapter in this genealogy of AI represents a huge leap forward, building on the dreams and discoveries of those who came before. And now, here we are, at the point where machines aren't just basic tools anymore, but entities that are beginning to learn, reason, and create alongside us. As of today, artificial intelligence has grown from being a futuristic concept into a reality that is deeply embedded in our lives. AI powers so many things around us, from chatbots like ChatGPT to self-driving cars to medical imaging systems and even creative tools that generate art and music. It's helping scientists cure diseases, aiding businesses to streamline operations, and even automating household tasks like cleaning and scheduling. Progress in AI feels almost miraculous, continuously pushing boundaries of what machines can do faster than anyone anticipated. Yet, the achievements of AI today come with a mix of awe and uncertainty. Some believe we've hit a plateau, that the models we see today, like ChatGPT, are as good as they'll get for a while. They argue that the exponential scaling of AI models will face limitations like computational power, energy, and diminishing returns. However, others see an open horizon. AI is learning faster, improving itself, and tackling increasingly complex tasks. And there's little reason to believe that this momentum will slow down. Take even early models like AlphaGo Zero. When it was released, it didn't just match human skills, it completely reinvented how problems could be solved entirely on its own. So who's to say that this is the end for current models that we see today? With just a little more time, they may reach a point where they completely reinvent how we navigate our daily lives. In my opinion, the question is no longer if AI can can surpass us in certain areas, but how quickly and to what extent. But this rapid advancement raises important questions about the future. Should we be more cautious about AI? Absolutely. AI systems are becoming more autonomous, and their decisions already influence hiring, healthcare, justice systems, and even political strategies. As they grow more sophisticated, the challenge lies in aligning AI's goals with human values. The concerns of a runaway AI aren't just science fiction anymore. There's evidence that self-improving systems could spiral beyond our understanding. While many believe we'll keep AI under control, it's important to acknowledge the risks and advocate for responsible development. Yet, paradoxically, few people are paying attention to AI at the scale it deserves. Even as AI reshapes industries, discussions about its safety, ethics, and societal impact remain niche. Part of this is because we feel powerless. AI development has turned into a global arms race, where progress feels unstoppable. If one group pauses development, others will forge ahead, ensuring that technology keeps advancing with or without us. We are, in a sense, stuck on this trajectory, racing towards an uncertain future. But there's good news. While we may not be able to stop AI's progression, we can choose how to adapt. Awareness is key. By understanding AI and its impact, we can shape how it integrates into our lives. We can push for policies that prioritize safety, ethics, and equitable access. We can prepare for a future where AI isn't a threat, but a tool, one that enhances our lives and helps solve humanity's greatest challenges. It's easy for people to overlook just how quickly AI is changing and advancing, and I think a big reason for this is because most people just can't take advantage of what they don't understand. I remember hearing a quote that maybe one of my professors said once. I can't remember, but it goes like, "You don't know what you don't know." And I feel like in this case, it means that people can't really take advantage of something that they don't even know about. Basically what I mean is, many people don't even know how AI even works, let alone what it's truly capable of. And as a result, they don't grasp the significance of what's happening around them, around us. This kind of blind spot in the public eye when it comes to technology isn't new. It's something that we've seen with other revolutionary inventions, like the smartphone. When the iPhone was first introduced, it was absolutely life-changing. Here was a device that combined a computer, a camera, a music player, and a phone all into one sleek handheld device. It redefined how we connect with each other, access information, and navigate the world. Yet today, we take smartphones for granted. They've become so ingrained in our lives that we rarely stop to think about the immense power that they put in our fingertips. The ability to communicate instantly across the globe, capture high-definition videos, or carry a library of knowledge in our pockets is nothing short of extraordinary, yet it feels so ordinary. We could be learning something to help us achieve our wildest dreams, yet we choose to doom scroll our lives away instead. The tools designed to set you free are the same ones that bind you if you let them. So don't look at AI with fear alone. Yes, the unknown can be terrifying, but it's also filled with possibility. We are living in extraordinary times, a period where we have access to tools, knowledge, and resources that would have been unimaginable just a few decades ago. Since the dawn of civilization, humans have pushed the limits of what's possible, and AI is no different. It is a testament to human ingenuity, a sign of how far we've come, and a glimpse into a future that is still ours to define. At the end of the day, no one knows for certain what will happen. Maybe AI will help cure every disease, unlock limitless energy, or explore galaxies far beyond our reach. Or maybe it'll just make our lives a little easier, helping us write, learn, and create like never before. What matters most is that we pay attention, stay informed, and approach AI with curiosity and responsibility. Because if we do that, if we focus on the good and guide its development wisely, we might just prevent a catastrophe and build a future more miraculous than we've ever imagined.
You know, I don't remember getting this one.
Can you make it dance?
Well, here, let me try.
The most nightmare scenario I can imagine with AI and robotics is a world where robots have become so powerful that they are able to control or manipulate humans without their knowledge.
Oh, hell no.
Open the pod bay doors, Hal.
So, Hotshot, you want to fight Majin Buu?
Fight you? No, I want to kill you.
He needs some milk!
You see a busy room. I see obstacles that I can clean around. You may see never-ending work. I see a job I can be programmed to do every day.
I need your clothes, your boots, and your motorcycle.